Hello and welcome to WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan women's basketball Tuesday afternoon style, where the 11th ranked Wolverines play host to their arch rivals, the visiting Michigan State Spartans. I'm Jared Greenspan alongside with Matt Levy, and we're here inside Chrysler Center today for Michigan and Michigan State. It's the second game for the Wolverines since returning from their 2-week pause. They beat Purdue on Thursday night, shook off a little bit of rust. And so, Matt, what should we look for out of the Wolverines today in that second game back from the break?
I'm looking for a possible trap game right here. You look at next Sunday, they play Ohio State, a team they lost to, their only loss of the year here at home. So now you see a Michigan State team that has 5 losses. They've struggled a little bit. So it could be interesting. If Michigan doesn't show up, Michigan State will definitely give them a game. They've got a lot of talent, and they're led by Leah Brown. So I expect Michigan State to really put up a good fight. Michigan, you got to stay confident, you got to stay poised, and really bring it.
So the Wolverines in that last game on Thursday, coming out of the break, bested Purdue 62-49. A little rust to begin, a little shaky. The offense struggled overall, just going 2 of 15 from beyond the arc. But it was the defense that held steady, and then the rebounding advantage, of course, led by Naz Hillman, as you said. Michigan revolves around Naz Hillman. They also got Leah Brown back, and she's their second leading scorer. She made a big difference in that one.
Yes, she did, and I think if you're looking at the keys, I think Michigan, they're so talented offensively and defensively. Their offense didn't really show up against Purdue because they were a little rusty after that 2-week pause. I expect that offense to get really rolling today here at home against Michigan State.
So Michigan will roll out a starting lineup featuring Naz Hillman, Leah Brown, Haley Brown, Akenray Johnson, and Amy Dilk. Amy Dilk did not start against Purdue. Kim Barnes-Larico opted to start Maddie Nolan instead. Nolan normally comes off the bench. She will again today. Dilk only played 21 minutes in that one as a part of a way to just ease her in. And for a lot of these Wolverines, it's difficult to sort of ease back into action after such a long layoff.
Yeah, it definitely is. You saw it with the Michigan men's basketball team against Wisconsin. You saw it against Purdue. I think it's more of the offense that really struggles because they haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't been shooting. In real games, they've been running a lot. So I think as the time will go on, I think it starts today. You'll see a little bit of a comeback from this Michigan offense. Really expect them to get going and then getting ready for Ohio State this weekend.
And so on the other side of things, the Michigan State Spartans, they roll out a starting lineup featuring Nia Claudin, who's their top scorer, along with Julia Aralt, Janae Crooms, Moira Joyner, and then rounding things out is Alicia Smith. And so it's Michigan State and Michigan, a game that was postponed twice. First because of COVID implications within the Spartans program, and then because of Michigan's 2-week pause that the State Health Department advised the university to implement, which they did, shutting down athletics for 2 weeks. So here we are, third time's the charm, Michigan State. The intros are over, the teams are breaking our huddle. We're about ready to get things going here from Chrysler Center. So the Wolverines will be wearing their maize uniforms today. The Spartans sporting blacks with green lettering, also neon green socks. I like those. So we're about ready to get underway. Again, the Wolverines going back to their usual starting 5 with Dilk, Brown, Hillman, and Johnson. Michigan State rolling with Joyner, Crooms, Claudin, Aralt, and Smith. It will be Hillman and Smith to jump things off. We are ready to get going here inside Chrysler Center. Michigan State, the in-state rivals. Here comes the tip, and here we go. It's back tap by Hillman, and Dilk controls, scampering left to right into the forecourt for the Wolverines, controlling along the right side. Push pass along the wing for Brown, arcs underneath. Hillman comes down with it, lays it up, lays it in. A nice high-low to get the Wolverines on the board.
That's exactly what you want to see. Hillman down low, easy bucket, good start.
So Michigan State comes back the other way. It's Claudin, curls down the left alley, shoulders into Haley Brown, flips it up, it rolls off the rim, and Dilk is able to clear it. Dilk left to right, streaking right down the middle, veers off to her left. Give up top, Haley Brown. Dribble handoff right side goes to Leah Brown. Brown jab steps, moves left. Draped by Joyner, flips it out left side for Akenray Johnson. Skip pass cross court, Haley Brown lines up a 3. It's blocked by Aralt. And Aralt grabs the rebound as well. Crooms brings it across down the middle for the Spartans. Angles right, plows into Brown, and Brown stands her ground. It's a steal. Akenray Johnson swoops in. And the first turnover of the game goes to Michigan State.
Yeah, this Michigan defense is so tough. Top 3 in the nation and top again in field goal percentage. So it's going to be tough sledding for those Spartans.
Leah Brown down the right alley. She's bumped. The layup rolls off. Fight for the rebound. Brown on the floor. The ball trickles out of bounds right in front of us. And it's heading over to Michigan State. So Leah Brown misses one from point-blank range. She's a little slow getting up, walking gingerly back on defense, but she looks like she'll shake it off. So a physical start in the early going. Wouldn't expect anything less from the two in-state rivals.
In every sport, Michigan State, you're going to get some physicality at every game, and that's why every game's different. Even though Michigan might be the 11th ranked team in the country, Michigan State will always give them a fight because it's Michigan State.
Michigan with the early 2-0 lead, 60 seconds in. Janae Crooms flips it on the right wing for Aralt. Catch and fire, and she drills a right wing 3. Confident stroke by Aralt, and she puts the Spartans on top. Dilk quick the other way, hands off on the right wing for Brown, gets it back in the corner, loops underneath Hillman, her second touch, she's doubled, flips it right wing, Haley Brown, she lets it fly, it was halfway down and it pops back out. Rebound goes to Clouden, scampers down the right side, tracked by Kenray Johnson. Michigan gets back and Michigan State will settle in.
Yeah, one key on the offensive side for Michigan, you're going to see they're going to double team Hillman. How does Michigan shoot the basketball? Can they get hot from deep? Because that's going to be, if they can't, that's going to be very tough sledding. If they can't shoot and Hillman's doubled, that's a key for Michigan because they're going to get some open shots.
Aralt left her runner short, and Dilk took it coast to coast, shouldering down the left alley and banking in the runner to put Michigan back on top. 7:45 left here in the first. Wolverines with a 4-3 advantage. Crooms on the right wing with Dilk, lobs it inside for Smith, working with Brown, and she's whistled for steps. Second turnover for Michigan State. So 4-3, the Wolverines on top here in the early going. Just getting underway here from Chrysler Center, Michigan State on a Tuesday afternoon edition for some women's basketball. Dilk give for Leah Brown up top. Hillman sets a high ball screen. Brown rolls right, drives down the alley. Shot swatted out of bounds, but a late foul is called. Aralt came over from the help side and emphatically rejected it out of bounds, but I think she got her on the body below.
Yeah, Leah Brown, I think that's the key. If they're going to double your best player, your second best player better show up. She did it against Purdue. I expect her to have a lot of success today, taking the ball to the rim, really getting physical inside.
And so Leah Brown, a 73% free throw shooter, heads to the stripe for a pair. She went 8 of 14 from the line against Purdue as she sinks the first. Her jumper wasn't really going, just 4 of 13 from the field, but she found other ways to contribute, ending up with 20 points in part because of her 8 free throws.
Yeah, again, taking it to the rim. She was 11 for, she drew 10 fouls basically in that game. So she's going to be a lot of times in that paint area because of her physicality.
She gets the second to go, pushing Michigan's lead to 6-3. Clouden controls up top, flips right wing for Aralt, lets the 3 fly. It's an air ball, jump save for Joyner, but her foot was on the end line. So the ball heads back to Michigan. 6-3 here in the early going, 7:11 left here in the first. Michigan still rolling with their starting 5. It's Amy Dilk. She takes it left to right across into the forecourt. Flips it up top, Haley Brown. Quick give for Leah Brown. Gets a high ball screen from Hillman. Drives right, weaving down the alley. Hanging. Bank shot rolls off the rim, and the rebound by Smith.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just saying, you're seeing this early offense. It's the same thing. It's Leah Brown, the focal point.
Crooms has it up top, flips left wing. Joyner curls right down the alley into Brown, and she loses the handle. Goes spilling out of bounds. Another turnover by the Spartans. That's 3 in the early going. And the ball goes back to Michigan again. Dilk will take it left to right, down the middle. Matched up with Crooms. Handling with her right hand, goes in between the legs, flips it right wing for Leah Brown, working with Joyner. Entry feed for Hillman, immediately met by a double. Bounce pass underneath. Leah Brown carving her way down the middle. Haley Brown, that is, rather. She lays it in, weaving through for 2. And Michigan's up 8-3. Crooms working on the right wing with Dilk. Accelerates and takes the baseline, shoulders her way inside, and lays it in for an easy 2. So a good answer by Janae Crooms and the Spartans. It's 8-5, Michigan on top. Hillman on the left block, powers her way inside. That's about as easy as it's going to get for Naz Hillman.
Yeah, now no double right there. When she was, that's called moving around. When the Michigan players are really moving around, making good cuts inside, it's going to be very tough for Michigan State to defend.
Up and under move inside for Clouden, and she lays it in. Fooled Haley Brown. Fast pace here. Hillman catches on the other end. Walled up by Joyner. Goes up from the block and banks it in. How about Michigan pushing the tempo? Back and forth we go. Crooms heading the other way. Michigan up 12-7 in what is quickly becoming a fast-paced affair. Joyner on the left side with Leah Brown. Give up top for Clouden. She's the Spartans' leading scorer at 19 a game. Into the middleman, it's Smith. A little twirl in the paint. Throws up a wild shot. Won't go off glass, but Haley Brown clipped her on the arm. So 2 free throws coming for Smith and the Spartans.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Michigan State keeps up with the fast tempo of Michigan. Michigan wants to push the basketball, get Hillman inside, get her easy looks instead of those doubles. How does Michigan State keep up with that? It's going to be about grinding on the offensive end and slowing this game down, getting to that free throw line, getting these shots, and getting Clouden really going.
So Alicia Smith will head to the free throw line for a pair for Michigan State. She's just a 55% free throw shooter. Substitutions here for Michigan State. Mardarika Cook enters the game for the first time, as does Eliza Winston. Michigan still rolling with its starting 5. First free throw is good, and so is the second. And so it's 12-9. Smith does her job, and she'll take a seat as well. Tyre Parks enters the game for Michigan State, so the Spartans running with 3 reserves. Michigan still with its 5 starters. Brown loops at left wing for Kenray Johnson. She's been quiet in the early going. Attacks off the bounce, penetrating down the alley. Scoop shot off the window, rolls off. Hillman there for the board. She's triple teamed and gets clobbered on the way up.
There's no chance Michigan State can win if those offensive rebounds are there. There is no opportunity. If you're the underdog, you're the team that has to really slow that game down, get those rebounds. I think the rebounding edge can be very important in this game. If Michigan's going to push the ball, Michigan State has to rebound because they cannot let up second chance opportunities.
Hillman drills the first, and you talk of the rebounding advantage. It was 39-18 in favor of the Wolverines in their last game against the Boilermakers. We're seeing it play a factor so far today. 13-9, Michigan up top. Hillman off the front of the rim, and it misses on the second free throw, rolls out. Coming in to clear it is Clouden. She scampers down the left side of the court, working with Johnson. Around the ball screen, cuts it back. Entry feed into the post. Working down there is Parks. She's flustered up. Johnson coming in on the help. She ties up Parks. It'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow stays this way. And that'll lead us to our first timeout, the media timeout. 4:59 left here in the first. The Wolverines on top, 13-9, and it's been all Naz Hillman early with 7 points for the Wolverines.
Yeah, she's been really dominant, getting looks inside, and when she's been doubled, she's been able to pass the basketball, getting some open looks inside. You saw that cut. Great finish by Brown. You saw Leah Brown early in the game. It kind of transitioned to Hillman. So I like the looks that Michigan's offense has given this Michigan State defense. Give them a lot of looks. You expect Hillman to get the ball. Let's start out with Brown, then work to Hillman. I really like that. And on the other side, Michigan State's been carving up inside. They're trying to get to the free throw line. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to keep this game close if you're Michigan State. You can't let it get out of hand, and you got to rebound the basketball if you want to do that. Rebounding, free throw line, those are the 2 keys for Michigan State.
3 early turnovers as well for the Spartans, a bit of sloppy play on their half, and that's a big reason why the Wolverines have the early 4-point advantage. We mentioned in the opener this was a game that was canceled twice. One time because of COVID implications in Michigan State's program, the other time because of Michigan's 2-week pause, and now third time's the charm. Here we are inside Chrysler today. I'm Jared Greenspan again alongside Matt Levy. If you didn't catch that in the opening, Michigan and Michigan State. Tuesday afternoon women's basketball. When was the last time you watched basketball on a Tuesday afternoon?
I don't think ever. I mean, maybe COVID, but, you know, if there was some nice NBA bubble games, but you haven't seen a lot, and it's really good to see. Tuesday afternoon, let's get out here. Let's play some ball.
It's part of a scheduling rarity this year. Of course, all the juggling being done with all the canceled games and postponements. Michigan has only played 12 games coming into this one. This is their 13th game. That's the least number of games played in the Big Ten. They've got a lot more to make up. Their schedule is going to get very compact. They already played Thursday against Purdue. They're coming back again on the Tuesday, and then they play Thursday against a ranked Indiana team away in Bloomington, and then they play host to Ohio State, who handed them their only defeat of the season on Sunday. So the schedule is getting very compact, and we'll see how Michigan is able to keep up with all of that as the rest of the season unfolds.
Yeah, this is going to be a stretch right now, Thursday, February 18th, as you mentioned, and Sunday, February 21st. Indiana, Ohio State. So that's why I had a little bit of a concern. Can Michigan overlook this game? Because they got 2 huge games against ranked opponents coming up, and also against their arch rival, Ohio State. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this game unfolds. I do like the start for Michigan, though. They look solid.
Out of the timeout here, working the baseline is Michigan State, but the layoff is short for Cook. Spartans retain, however. Parks pulls down the offensive rebound. And Michigan State pushes it around the arc. Flips on the right side for Cook with Johnson. Walled off at the elbow. Give along the right wing for Winston. Winston sizing up Dilk. 5 on the shot clock. Around the high ball screen. Stutter steps to her left. Finds a seam down the middle on the pull-up in the paint. Off the front of the rim, and it rolls in. A nice soft touch for Eliza Winston, and the lead is cut to 13-11.
A little bit of concern early, just that paint. It's been a little too easy for Michigan State. They're getting to the free throw line. They're getting some easy looks inside. That was a great move. But just lock down that paint a little bit more.
Johnson drives down the right alley, powers over Cook, and then misses it from point-blank range. Parks rips down the rebound. Scampering up the near side is Joyner. She's picked up by Leah Brown in the half court. Joyner around a screen, entry feed for Smith. Cook, that is, spinning inside, up with the left, it rolls off. And the rebound by Maddie Nolan, and then she gets fouled by Cook. Nolan came into the game after that timeout as Haley Brown took a seat. Michigan going smaller a little bit, rolling with both Nolan and Dilk in the backcourt. So Michigan up 13-11, under 4 to play here in the first. Amy Dilk takes it left to right. It's been a scrappy first quarter thus far. Dilk loops it left wing for Johnson, guarded by Cook. Calls for the high ball screen from Hillman. And a whistle and a foul. That's going to go on Cook again, trying to fight over that screen. So fouls, consecutive fouls by Cook in a matter of 30 seconds will send her right back to the bench.
Also early, something to keep an eye on. It's very early, but 4 fouls to 1. How do you stop Michigan? If you're Michigan State, maybe fouling could be an issue.
So Cook takes a seat, Aralt enters, and Michigan throws it away on the inbounds pass. Scampering into the forecourt is Winston. It's a foot race with Dilk, and she blows the layup. Strong rebound underneath by Naz Hillman. Haley Brown also back into the game for Michigan. Akenray Johnson took a seat. Dilk into the forecourt along the left side. Behind the Hillman screen. Veers toward the top of the key, flips it back for Brown underneath Hillman. Up and under. Oh, what a move by Naz Hillman. Toying with Parks, and she's got 2 there. And now she has 9 on the day so far.
You can't do that if you're Michigan State. You can't let those easy looks inside the post. You're that deep. You just can't do that if you want to win.
Aralt on the left wing with Hillman. Give on the right side. Jab stepping and rising for 3 is Clouden. She's off the mark to the left. Strong box out by Leah Brown. And Dilk comes in to scoop it up on a hop. Dilk floats it right side looking for Brown. It's Karam's out of bounds. Flying in to get a hand on that was Joyner. And so Michigan will retain. Substitution for the Wolverines. Amy Dilk takes her first seat of the game. Michelle Sedor enters the contest. Michigan State as well changing the guard here. Joyner takes a seat. And Troy Osment enters for the first time today. So Michigan rolling with a backcourt of Nolan and Roush entered, not Sedor. So Nolan, Roush, Leah Brown, Haley Brown, and Naz Hillman, the 5 out there for Michigan. They're wiping off the ball here. Not sure if it got any residue on it. But now we're about ready to go. It will be Roush to inbound along the sideline, across the way from the Michigan State bench. Gets it in up top for Leah Brown, matched up with Osman. Angles over to the left. Around the high ball screen from Hillman, drives right, pulls it back beyond the arc. Has a clear out with Osman. Fires a skip pass cross court for Roush. Hesitates, gives on the left wing Haley Brown. She skip pass cross court for Nolan. Corner 3 in and out. And Osment there to clear it. Quick outlet up the right side goes for Winston. Winston around the Park screen, lines up a 3, but that's going to be whistled. It didn't go in, but it's going to be whistled off anyway. An illegal screen is going to go on Parks. And she's going to pay for a transgression. She'll take a seat, and Smith re-enters. Plus, Michigan is now in the bonus after that one.
Yeah, just what I was talking about. If you give Michigan free free throws, it's going to be tough sledding because they can get buckets whenever they want. They got one of the best players in the country, Naz Hillman. You're going to give him another gift? That's not what you want to do.
Leah Brown handles on the left wing for the Wolverines. Slips a Hillman screen, shoulders her way to the block, back out for Hillman. Give up top, Roush catches in motion. Around the Haley Brown screen, back for Haley Brown, loops it underneath Hillman. Got great position and lays it in with the left hand. 11 points on the docket so far for Naz Hillman.
The way she gets to the post inside, gets that position, it's just unguardable. It really is. You got to double her however you can because she has 11 points right now, and they've been trying to double her, and they just can't.
Clouden forcing up a contested runner down the right alley, and she draws contact and will head to the free throw line for 2. Michigan up 17-11 here over the in-state rival Spartans. A minute 59 left in the first. Naz Hillman with 11, Michigan State with 11. So Hillman would, if she was just playing the Spartans herself, she would have enough for a tie. Clouden now at the free throw line. She's a 79% free throw shooter. And as I say that, she rims out on the first. She's had a quiet game so far tonight, just 2 points, 1 of 3 from the field, but she is Michigan State's most potent threat, 19.1 points per game, shooting over 50% from the field. The third-year player out of Owings Hills, Maryland, knocks down the second one, and it's 17-12. The Wolverines maintain a 5-point advantage. Roush orchestrating for the Wolverines, flips it along the left wing for Leah Brown. Gets the high ball screen from Hillman, works her way to the right side, picks up her dribble, loops it for Haley Brown, give along the right wing for Nolan. Nolan behind the screen, thought about the three, puts it on the deck instead. Picks up the handle up top, lobs for Hillman at the elbow, doubled, fires it cross court. Haley Brown, corner three on the way, it's off the mark. And Hillman tried to keep it alive, and she draws the foul, I believe, in the process. Trying to box her out was Alesia Smith. She looked flustered at the call. But nonetheless, Hillman will head to the free throw line again, looking to add to her point total.
It really is amazing to see a great player just play great. I mean, it is unbelievable. Yes, Michigan State did everything they could on that possession. They did exactly. They doubled, and they let the shooter shoot, and she missed. But still, Naz Hillman fighting down low, getting that foul called. It's just so tough to guard her.
Hillman rattles in that first free throw. She's a 75% shooter from the strike. And Kenray Johnson comes into the game for Michigan. Roush takes a seat. Hillman off back iron on that one, and Osmet there for the rebound at the foul line. Osmet into the forecourt, quick outlet pass up the right side for Clouden. Nearly called for steps. Working with Johnson. Motions to the top of the key. Give for Osmet, curls to her right, drives on Brown. Flip shot off the window, it's short. Haley Brown clears, up for Leah Brown. Michigan has numbers if they push. Brown drives down the right alley, and she's bumped on the dribble drive by Winston. And so Leah Brown back to the free throw line, and Michigan State really racking up the fouls now. That's 8 with a minute 13 left in the first.
That's exactly what I'm saying right here. You can't give these. You try to contain Hillman, that's one thing, but these hand-checking fouls, they're going to kill you once you're in the bonus. You're already at 6 fouls now. With a minute 13 left in this first quarter, Michigan State, you got to relax with the fouls. You got to double Hillman. It's a very tough task, but you just can't keep giving free points to the Wolverines.
Naz Hillman takes her first seat as Leah Brown makes the first free throw. Emily Kaiser enters the game. Second free throw on the way from Brown. It rolls home. And now Brown, another substitution here. It's Haley Brown who will take a seat. Amy Dilk re-enters. So Dilk, Nolan, Kaiser, Leah Brown, and Kenray Johnson out there for the Wolverines, who have an early 8-point advantage as the first quarter is winding to a close. 1 minute left. Aralt on the left side fires it right wing for Winston, calls for a screen, motions to her left, pulls it back, give along the left wing for Osment, working with Nolan, flips it up top for Clouden with Johnson, 12 on the shot clock on the right wing. Winston drives on Dilk, finds a seam, forces it up. The runner won't go. Leah Brown flying in for the rebound. Brown looking to push. Racing into the forecourt. Finds a seam. The coast clears, and Leah Brown takes it all the way. The seas parted, and Leah Brown took it 94 feet to push Michigan's lead to 10.
That's all about that defense. They did a great job helping on that drive. You get the missed shot, and you run it. That's exactly what Michigan wants to do.
22-12, Michigan on top. Aralt on the right wing working with Johnson. Takes the baseline, forces it out, won't go. Nolan with the board, and then she throws the outlet pass away. Winston weaving inside. She lays it up and in. So Maddie Nolan with a blunder that'll cost Michigan 2 points. 9 seconds and counting here left in the first. Dilk races into the forecourt. Around the Kaiser screen, moves right. Picks up the dribble, forces it up, but she left it short. Aralt the board, 2 seconds, and she's not going to get a shot off. Goes crashing to the deck. And so that'll put an end on a entertaining first quarter, one that sees the Michigan Wolverines take an 8-point lead into the second quarter, up 22-14, and that was the first quarter in which Naz Hillman did all the scoring. Hillman with 12 points to lead the way for Michigan.
Yeah, that was an excellent first quarter again by Michigan. They did a really good job executing that game plan. They threw a lot of different looks, but I think the main key, they fixed their defense after a first couple minutes letting some shots in the paint. That defense really got going, especially that help on those drives. They did an excellent job, and that really allowed for that offense to get going. The Michigan defense, it might not get as much notice because of Hillman on the other side, but their defense is the back burner of this team. They did a really good job at the end of the first quarter picking up that D.
Spartans shooting just 33% of the field. They turned it over 4 times. And I think a point of emphasis for Michigan was definitely to work it inside and get to the free throw line. They're a very physical team. They got Michigan State in the bonus relatively early. 7 fouls on the Spartans. And that led to 8 free throws for Michigan. They capitalized on 6 of them.
Yeah, those free throws, I keep talking about them. I sound like a broken record. But that is the key. That was the key at the end of the first half. It was the defense and the free throws that really got this Wolverines team going. And, of course, it's Naz Hillman as well. She had a really good first quarter. Despite the double teams, despite what she was dealing with, she actually just was in double digits in that first quarter. So a lot of good things from the Wolverines. Up 8.
And Michigan's offense looks far sharper than it did Thursday against Purdue when it came out following the long pause. It took a while to find its footing. Less so far today with 22 points in the first quarter, shooting 47% from the field. The three-point struggles are still persisting. 0 of 4 from three-point land so far today. 2 of 15 from distance against Purdue, so that'll be something that they need to fix. And that's been really a trend so far through the season. When Hillman gets doubled and tripled, if she can't do it herself, the Wolverines have needed someone else to step up and to get that three-point shooting on track.
I think that's the next step for this team. You got the defense down. I think you got the paint really down on the offensive end. It's about shooting the basketball, because once a team knows how to double Hillman and not foul her, like you saw against Ohio State, it's very tough to get back into a game when you cannot shoot the ball, especially from three-point land. So Michigan, next thing you got to do, you got the pieces, and I think that defense is solid. I think that offense inside is very solid. It's about shooting the basketball and really adding that third element to this team.
And so the buzzer has sounded, and the teams break their huddles to begin the second quarter. Michigan with the 22-14 advantage. Wolverines rolling with Dilk, Nolan, Kaiser, Hillman, and Johnson out of the break. Michigan State, by comparison, has Smith, Osment, Aralt, Winston, and then not Joyner, that is Crooms. Dilk controls on the left wing, give up top for Johnson to begin the second quarter. Nolan on the right wing loops it underneath for Hillman. Nice job by Michigan State. Smith fronting it, and then Hillman got her hand on it but couldn't clasp it. It's out of bounds. A turnover to begin the second quarter for Michigan.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're Michigan State. I bet you the coaching is preaching that. You got to double and front Hillman inside, and that's exactly what they did on that first possession.
Crooms has it on the left wing for the Spartans. Around the screen by Aralt. Curls right down the alley. Off-balance runner with the right hand was in and out. It popped out. Kaiser clears. Give for Dilk off to the races. Her pass looking for Hillman. Deflects its way to Nolan on the right side. She pulls things back. And Michigan will look to slow things down. Nolan in the right corner. Open for 3. She buries it. Maddie Nolan ring up a triple. And Michigan up by 11.
That's how you open up a game. Shoot those threes. They doubled Hillman. Kick it out for that 3. Love it.
Clouden on the wing. Entry feed into the post for Smith. Elevates for a little 10-footer over Kaiser. It's pure. And Michigan State with an answer. 25-16. Michigan's lead at 9. Dilk fires a skip pass cross court for Johnson on the left wing. Jab steps. Cuts it back. Spinning on Osment at the block, and she throws it away. It's a foot race to the orange. Aralt scoops it up. On the right side, pulls it back with Dilk. Waits for her teammates. So 2 turnovers now. 80 seconds into the second quarter for Michigan. Clouden controls up top, slips the screen, drives left, hop steps inside, up with the right, layup goes down, and a foul. Johnson clipped her on the arm, and it'll be a chance for a 3-point play for Clouden.
Wolverines did such a good job of locking down that paint until right there. Can't allow an open runner right to the rim. Too easy for Michigan State.
Substitutions en masse for the Wolverines. Kaiser and Nolan take a seat. Leah Brown and Haley Brown check back in. So Clouden will try for 3 the old-fashioned way at the stripe. The 79% free throw shooters, 1 of 2 from the line so far today. Bends her knees, releases, and knocks it down. So Michigan up by 6, 25-19. A minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. Dilk into the forecourt along the left side. Calls for Leah Brown. Dribble handoff to Brown. Loops it back for Dilk on the left wing. Dilk working with Crooms behind the Hillman screen. Cuts it back to the left. Give for Hillman on the left wing. Thought about the three. She hasn't taken one all year. Haley Brown handles. Gives for Johnson. Around the screen. 10 to shoot. Puts up the 18-footer. It rolls off the rim. Rebound Karams right to Dilk on the right block. Muscling her way out of traffic. Flips it out for Brown. Johnson up top. Back for Dilk, and Michigan resets. Loops it underneath Hillman. Catches at the block. She's doubled. Give out. Haley Brown swings for Dilk. Shot clock down to 9. Dilk with the roll. Gets a high ball screen from Hillman. Dances to the free throw line. It's blocked by a roll. And then Smith has the board. Up for Crooms off to the races down the right side. Whistles it cross court. A little too hot for Joyner to handle. She spins away from Brown. Drives, feeds Smith. The layup is short. And Hillman wrestles away the rebound for Michigan.
Excellent defense by Michigan State. On that other side, just wanted to mention that quickly. They fronted really well, and they did a really good job in the paint. This second quarter, they've picked it up.
Haley Brown has her shot swallowed up inside. Smith with the jab step off to the right, off to the races, and she is fouled. So frenetic pace unfolding, and the Spartans' interior defense has really walled up the Wolverines so far in this second quarter. That's blocks on back-to-back possessions. And Smith will be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line here. Maddie Nolan enters for Michigan. Dilk will take a seat. Substitution for Michigan State as well. Winston enters. And it's Clouden off to the bench. So Smith at the free throw line, a 65% shooter, gets the first one to fall. Michigan up by 5, 25-20. And the second one goes down as well. That's 2 turnovers now for Amy Dilk on those back-to-back possessions, perhaps why she is on the bench. It's Nolan handling, give for Hillman at the elbow. Not looking to shoot. Now she faces the basket, and she'll elevate, and it's off the front of the rim, won't fall. Nolan with the rebound, goes back up strong and lays it up and in. How about Maddie Nolan making an impact on the glass?
I love that. That hustle plays from Michigan, getting those offensive rebounds. That's how you get free points if your offense is not working.
The 5'9" Maddie Nolan pushing Michigan's lead to 6. Crooms as an isolation with Hillman, drives left, one-legged fadeaway. It's an air ball. Johnson saves it. Oh, she should have just let that one go. Her foot stepped on the end line, so it'll stay with Michigan State. 6:48 here left in the second quarter. Spartans will inbound underneath their own basket. It'll be Crooms to put things into motion. Bit of a delay here. Not sure exactly what is going on.
Checking the clock, maybe?
Perhaps. One of the refs is over watching the monitor. And they are indeed reviewing the play. For what we don't know, we'll find out soon. 27-21, Michigan on top. A back and forth action unfolding here in the second quarter. A frenetic pace to the play. Michigan State has come out much stronger than they did in the first.
Yes, they have, and I think it's about the interior defense, as you mentioned. They're doing a very good job of fronting Hillman, and they're basically blocking down those passing lanes. They're using their hands really well. That one time there was an open three, Michigan hit it, but you haven't seen consistent three-point shooting, so teams can pack in the paint and let Michigan take their try from three because they haven't been so good.
And so it was a shot clock issue. They reset the shot clock to 11 seconds. The inbound comes in for Winston on the right side as a clear out with Nolan. Trying to get it to Smith, can't get it to her. Shot clock under 4, moves right. Walled off by Brown in the corner. Back out a roll. Tees up a right wing 3. It's well short and plucked out of the air by Leah Brown. Brown off to the races. Fires the outlet up the right side. Johnson loops underneath. Hillman goes up strong. Blocked from behind, but a foul is going to go on Michigan State. Crooms was in there. And so Hillman heads right back to the charity stripe.
Michigan is so good on the fast break, getting numbers and getting it down low to Hillman. That's where they kill you, and they've shown it here tonight. Hillman, a lot of easy looks. When the defense is not set, give it down low. She'll really work inside.
Naz Hillman ready for her 5th and 6th free throw attempts of the afternoon. 2 of 4 from the line so far. She's got 12 points through 12 minutes. First one's on the way, and it's pure for Hillman. Michigan leads by 7, 28-21, 6:27 here left in the second quarter. A game between two in-state rivals, Michigan and Michigan State. Hillman knocks down the second. Michigan up by 8. Crooms brings it across down the right side, tracked by Kenray Johnson. Looking to put things into motion for Michigan State. Pass along the right side. Winston dices her way across the lane. Hangs for the bank shot and gets it to fall. Nice aggressive take by Winston. Closing Michigan's lead down to 6. Nolan handling at the block M for the Wolverines. Veers to her left, picks up the dribble, and flips it along the left side for Johnson. Johnson with Crooms. Jab stepping her way to the top of the key. Motions to her right, giving the corner for Nolan. Loops it underneath. Hillman off the entry feed. She's not doubled. Fires it cross court for Brown. Gets her defender in the air. Drives inside. Tough runner. Won't go. Hillman had the rebound go through her hands. And then I believe that was touched last by Joyner. And so it'll stay this way.
It's about the paint right now. This game is coming down to who's going to win inside, who's going to be more physical. And this second quarter, Michigan State has lived up to the task.
Nolan, an easy inbound inside for Hillman, and an easy inbound pass and an easy 2. Hillman slips right through the cracks to put Michigan up by 8. 14 now for Hillman. Crooms down the right side, guarded by Johnson. Picks up the dribble and gives for Osment. Osment working with Hillman. The Michigan bench making noise. Entry feed for Smith. She's doubled, kicks it out for Crooms on the wing, passes up a 3. Osment up top, angles to her right, cuts it back to the left, hop steps inside, works her way across the lane, and gets the lefty layup to fall. Just enough mustard on that. And Michigan State pulls within 6. Nolan heaves it up ahead for Hillman, catches it along the end line, back for Johnson, works her way inside, leaves the layup short. Rebound batted around and taken by Brown, up back to Hillman. A little left-handed turn and a right-handed hook. Michigan up by 8 halfway through the second quarter.
Second chance opportunities. That's where Michigan is going to feast, and they have feasted. They just did it again. That's where Hillman gets her points. Transition, second opportunities.
Osment for Winston. Drives on Nolan. And a whistle and a foul. Nolan called for the block. She wanted a little push-off and a forearm extension on Winston's part. But nonetheless, Nolan called for the foul. That's her second, team's third. We got a timeout on the floor. 4:44 left in the second quarter. Michigan up 33-25. They've been able to stave off feisty Spartan play here in the second quarter. Michigan State trying to get back into this one. Haven't been able to close the deficit any closer than 6.
Yeah, you got to give Michigan a lot of credit. Michigan State has put up a full-on blitz with that interior defense I've been talking about. But I think the second chance opportunities, transition game, it's been the difference. And also a plus for Michigan State. You had 7 fouls in the first quarter. You have 1 foul right now. So a lot of success for Michigan State, but the lead's still 8. So Michigan State's right now bringing that A game. Michigan right now a little bit dicey, but they're still up 8. So that's positive news for those Wolverines.
They were up 22-14 after the first quarter. Things have evened out here in the second. Each team with 11. So the deficit remains 8 points. Naz Hillman carrying the load per usual with 18 behind Hillman. It's Leah Brown with 6 points, Maddie Nolan with 5, and then Amy Dilk and Haley Brown with a bucket apiece. McHenry Johnson 0-4 from the floor. And Daniel Roush and Emily Kaiser, the only 2 other Wolverines to have appeared, have yet to take a shot. 33-25, Michigan on top. Again, after this, the Wolverines' schedule gets much more difficult. Michigan State's a middle-of-the-pack Big Ten team, 11-5 overall, 6-5 in conference. Not as dominant as they usually are. They've emerged as a powerhouse under Susie Merchant, who's now in her 14th season at the helm. They've won at least 20 games in 10 of their last 13 seasons. They'd be hard-pressed to find their way to 20 wins, to scratch out 20 wins this season. So after Michigan State, and again, Michigan played Purdue on Thursday, also toward the bottom of the Big Ten. Michigan has dates with number 14 Indiana and number 15 Ohio State. The schedule certainly isn't doing them any favors after today. Yeah,
it really is not. And I think that offense has got to really get going. Yes, they do have 33 points, but I feel like it's more right now, a lot of second chance, a lot of Michigan State mistakes. I don't know if that happens against an Indiana or an Ohio State. And that really didn't in that first meeting. So it's going to be interesting in this second quarter leading into the second half. Can this Michigan offense really get crisp, really get some good looks for Hillman, but really shoot the basketball a little bit better?
Just 1 of 6 from 3 to go along with 4 turnovers. So besides Hillman's 18 points, it's again been a bit of a struggle for Michigan. Nonetheless, they have an 8-point lead here as we resume play out of the timeout. It's Clouden on the left wing, give for Osment, drives on Hillman, gets to the block, weaves her way inside, throws up the little off-balance runner. and she got it to go. Michigan State within 6. Dilk pushing. Give for Leah Brown on the right side, trying to find Hillman. Nice job by Smith walling her up. Leaves it up top for Kenray Johnson instead. Barking out orders. Johnson backpedals to the block M. Shot clock halfway through. Give for Haley Brown. Flips left side for Dilk. Dilk working with Smith around the screen. Drives down the right alley. Hangs off glass. Gets it to go. Amy Dilk with the runner.
Tough. That is a very tough move. You want to see other players from Michigan step up. That was a really good job by Amy.
Winston for Osmond on the right side. Back door. It's broken up. Clouden sticks with it. Off glass. Gets it to go. Counted and one. A beautiful backdoor play, but someone on Michigan got a hand on it. But Clouden was able to stick with it, and her persistence pays off. She'll have a chance for what would be her second three-point play of the afternoon.
And this Michigan State attack is a little balanced, but you got Clauden as that leading scorer. She's got 8 right now. She's a scrappy player. She gets her shots, and that was a really good job getting that loose ball and putting it up.
Had 8, now she has 9 as she connects on the free throw. Michigan State has pulled within 5, 35-30. Dilk handles up top for the Wolverines, under 4 to play here in the second quarter. Leah Brown on the left side around the Hillman screen, drives right, walled off, gives it up top. Haley Brown, entry feed inside. Hillman on the left alley, works her way to the right and lays it up and in. That is just too easy for Naz Hillman. She's got 20 already.
You got to bring that double earlier if you're Michigan State. You cannot allow her to get one-on-one post presence and bring that double late. She'll scoop through that any day.
Smith fires up the elbow jumper. It's off the mark. That's not her forte. Johnson with the rebound, looking to push, streaking down the middle, veers right, spinning at the elbow and pulls it back out. Working on the wing around the Haley Brown screen, drives left, accelerates to the block, underhand scoop shot with the kiss. A Kenray Johnson goes glass. Michigan back up by 9. A nice mini 4-0 spurt after the Spartans had trimmed the lead down to 5, and Michigan State wants to talk things over.
Whenever Michigan Spartans fight a little bit back, it's to 5. Michigan right back there with 9. That's called toughness. It's called battling back. I love the persistence of this Michigan team. They're going to get the ball to Hillman. They know their identity. I love it.
So 3:11 left here before the half. The Wolverines with a 9-point advantage, 39-30. Naz Hillman continues to dominate. She's got 20. Both teams break their huddles. It's Hillman, Brown, Dilk, and Johnson, the starting 5 for Michigan. Michigan State rolling with Osment, Winston, Smith, Joyner, and then their leading scorer, Clouden. Clouden's got the ball at the M, working with Johnson, dribbling with her left hand, now alternating. Around the screen, moves left, pulls it back, cuts it back across the lane. Right-handed flip shot, off the front of the rim, won't fall. Smith has a rebound, wrestled away by Hillman. Johnson pushing down the middle, streaking into the forecourt. Now slows things down, give left side. Haley Brown, she's left alone, lines up a 3. It's good! Haley Brown from downtown, and the lead is up to 12.
Just a little miscommunication for Michigan State. Easy look. Now you're up to 12. It's going to be very tough for Michigan State right now to get back in this because their offense has just not been as dominant.
Osment drives right, looking for an answer. Flips it back up top. Winston heaves for 3. That's too strong. Osment flies in for the rebound. She couldn't get it. What a save along the sideline by Winston. Gets it inside for Smith. She fumbles the orange. Body's on the floor. Hillman's got it. Gets it away from her knees to Leah Brown. It's a 4-on-3 for Michigan. Brown high steps into the forecourt. Drives right. A ball fake. Gets inside. Layup won't go, but she's fouled. How about Leah Brown taking it coast to coast?
I love that. A little hesitation inside of the rim. I love that from Leah Brown. She has a lot of skills and loves to get inside.
7-0 run now for Michigan. They've made all of their last 5 free throws. And now Leah Brown heads back to the stripe for 2, looking to push this lead up to potentially 14 with 2:06 to play here in the second. KBA chatting up Dilk and Johnson in the backcourt as Leah Brown is too strong on the first free throw, no good. Wolverines again with their starting 5. Brown at the stripe, gets the second to go. So the lead is 13. Michigan State trying to make this a more manageable deficit heading into the locker room at the half. Crooms handling, flips it right side for Clouden. Working with Johnson, drops it off into the post for Parks across the lane. Lefty layup, wild shot, won't go. Rebound tipped around and taken by Brown. Dilk pushing down the middle as the Spartans backpedaling. Pulls it back, flips for Haley Brown, give along the left side, Leah Brown. Brown rises for three. That's good. Leah Brown with a confident stroke. Michigan by 16.
I think they heard us in the booth with those 3-pointers. I love the way they're shooting it. And now it's up to 16. A little scoring run from the Wolverines.
Joyner looking to right the ship for Michigan State. Give for Crooms on the right wing. Jab steps, drives on Dilk. Finds a seam, floats it cross court. Quick feed left side. Lining up the three and misfiring is Clouden. Johnson rips down the left block rebound. Michigan looking to push again. Johnson streaks down the middle. Give on the left side, Dilk. She thought about the three. Brown underneath. That's a poor entry pass. Nice job by Parks fronting it, and Michigan State's got the orange. Clouden down the left side, up with the left. Walled by Brown. The shot won't go. Gets her own miss, and then banks in the follow plus a foul. That's 3 3-point play opportunities now for Clouden.
Yeah, she's been very good, and then 2 of those have come on those second chance efforts. She's been very good finding that basketball after a mid shot. And if you're Michigan State right now, you're down about 14 or 13. I think you got to get this lead down at least into single digits if you want to feel good about yourself going in half. A really good run for Michigan because of those 3-pointers we were talking about. Open looks, they're going to hit them if they get those wide open.
58.4 ticks left in the second quarter. Clouden at the free throw line looking to cap off her third 3-point play, and she does. So Michigan's lead is 13, 46 to 33. Amy Dilk with a slow pace this time as she brings it across down the middle. Dilk working with Crooms, who's waving her arms up in the air. Floats it left wing. Hillman give along the side for Brown. Thought about a three. Into the corner on a hop. It's Dilk. Dilk fires a skip past cross court. Johnson on the right wing. Underneath for Hillman. It's too far outside of reach. It's out of bounds and a turnover heading over to Michigan State. So the Spartans have a chance here to get this thing maybe down to 10, as you were saying. With 36 seconds and rolling here left in the second quarter. Crooms along the right side leaves it on a hop up top for Clouden. Clouden around the screen, pulls up for an 18-footer. It's true. Nice confident stroke by Clouden, and the lead down to 11.
She's really taken over this Michigan State offense. She's become the focal point, getting those second opportunities, and now a little pick and roll jumper.
14 for Clouden. 12 seconds left here. Dilk holding at the block M. Gives left side Leah Brown 7 seconds to go. Brown jab steps with 5, puts it on the deck with 4, flips it left side Johnson, puts up a 3, it's off the mark. Rebound batted around, Parks secures it, and that'll cap a dominant first half for the Michigan Wolverines. They have a 46-35 lead as they waltz into the locker room. It was as much as 16. Credit Michigan State for carving into it a little bit, but nonetheless a very impressive first half by Michigan.
And I think you got to be very impressed at one point in the second quarter. Michigan State was really taking it to them. It was 35-30. Now it's 46-35. A little bit of that run. Michigan battling back after their offense wasn't so good in the first half of that second quarter. They really battled back in that second half of the second quarter.
No surprise that it's Nas Hillman leading the way. She's got 20 at the half, has only missed once from the field. Leah Brown, the other Wolverine, in double figures with 10. On the flip side of things for the Spartans, it's their leading scorer, Mia Clouden, with an effective 14 points and 5 of 10 from the field. So we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so here on WCBN Sports. Again, thanks for listening so far. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Michigan at 46-35. The second half coming up after the break.
Wait.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the second half of Michigan State women's basketball. Some afternoon women's basketball here at Chrysler Center. We're less than a minute away from picking up action here. Second half on tap from Chrysler Center, Michigan, with the 46-35 advantage at the break. And per usual, Naz Hillman has been the story. She's got 20 first half points.
Yeah, and I think she's done a very good job in transition and in second chance points. Michigan State has done a really good job interior defense. They've locked her down a bit, but she's gotten her points off of those opportunities she really takes advantage of. But I think the main story of that first half was at the end, Michigan getting that three ball going. You had 3 straight threes. You bring this lead up to 11. It was at 16. So a lot of good things you saw from Michigan, despite the surge, I call it, from Michigan State early in that second quarter.
Wolverines have gone to the stripe 12 times as well. They're 9-12 from there. 17-33 from the field, good for 52%. And then, as you mentioned, able to make those 3 3-pointers to help separate themselves from Michigan State in that second quarter.
Yeah, no, it was really just awesome. The rebounding, just wanted to bring that up quickly. It's 21-16. Michigan dominated in that first game. So here, 21-16, Michigan State battling. I think that's why it's closer, right? If Michigan doesn't hit those 3 straight threes, it's a very tight game. Michigan State really has done a really good job. Interior defense, I keep talking about it. They've shut down Hillman a bit inside, except for those second chance points in transition.
So the teams are on the court, Michigan and Michigan State, ready for the second half. Wolverines rolling with their starters. Per usual is Dilk, Hillman, Brown, and Johnson. Michigan State has Aralt, Joyner, Crooms, Clouden, and then Winston to round things out. So Michigan State starts out with the basketball left to right, flips it along the right side for Clouden, works her way around a park screen, veers left. Draped by Johnson, drops it off for Winston. High steps to the right wing, flips for Crooms, carves her way inside, and she's bottled up by Brown. But a whistle and a foul is going to go on Leah Brown. And so an early trip to the stripe coming from Michigan State 15 seconds into the second half. It'll be Janae Crooms at the stripe, a 52% free throw shooter. Crooms knocks down the first. 46-36, Michigan's lead stands at 10. Crooms off back iron on the second, and Leah Brown pulls in the rebound. Brown right to left, brings it across. Wolverines looking to push. Outlet fast up the right side. Johnson takes the baseline, shoulders her way inside. Lefty layup won't go. Rebound tip taken by Johnson at the foul line. Pitches it back for Haley Brown, passes up a 3. Fires it to Johnson at the elbow. Looks it back down her defender. Gets her in the air, up and under move. Layup won't go, but she draws a foul. Crafty play underneath by a Kenray Johnson, the 5th-year senior. So that's number 2 on Crooms. So the two teams trading trips to the free throw line 34 seconds into the second half. It's Johnson, a 69% free throw shooter at the line. Knocks in the first. Kenray Johnson has been quiet so far today, just 3 points now. A line drive shot at the second won't go, and tipping the rebound to herself is Clouden. Clouden left to right, zigzagging into the forecourt. Around a Park screen, Sutter steps, drives right, looking to feed it inside for Parks, and Hillman comes up with the steal. Dilk up ahead, Leah Brown comes under it on the right side, spinning over a defender, puts up a little fadeaway from the block and gets it to go. Nice concentration by Leah Brown to push the lead to 13. Crooms up top, pitches it right side for Winston, working with Brown. Back for Clouden at the top of the key with Johnson. Barking out orders. Clouden calls for a Park screen, veers to her right, draws Brown on a switch. She's doubled in the corner. Flips it out. Crooms arcs it inside. Parks turns to her left. Wild hook shot, and it caroms over the backboard. So a little out of control there is Parks, and it's going back to the Wolverines. 49-36, Michigan on top. Amy Dilk scampers into the forecourt. Along the right side, shadowed by Crooms. A minute and a half gone by here in the second half. Dilk flips right wing for Leah Brown. Matched up with Winston. Bullet pass underneath for Brown. Carves down the left alley. Up with the left. The runner is good. Off glass.
Really nice shot. I love that move.
And so Haley Brown stretches the lead to 15. Crooms with the crossover, works her way across the lane. She's doubled and will pull it back out. Working on the wing with Dilk. Crooms calling out a play. Around an Aralt screen, moves right, comes back around the Park pick. Back for Aralt on the wing with Hillman. Shot clock down to 10. Aralt gives way for Crooms on the left side. 5 to shoot. Crooms around the screen, moves right. Given the corner, Winston sidesteps Brown. A burst of speed inside. The runner won't go. Rebound on the weak side, taken by Johnson. Up for Leah Brown. Scampers down the left side. A full head of steam, and she loses it and barrels into a defender as well. That's going to be an offensive foul. One of the lone times tonight we've seen Michigan, who has pushed the ball so often, a little reckless there.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job setting the tone here in the third quarter. I think, again, that defense continues to impress. You've let up 36 points here about a quarter of the way through the third quarter, so a lot to like defensively for Michigan. They've done a really good job helping out when Michigan State trying to drive, especially on that last possession.
And that's 3 fouls now for Leah Brown. She'll get a quick hook here. Maddie Nolan enters the game for the Wolverines. So Michigan State swings it around, pulling up from the elbow, and knocking it down is Clouden. She continues to pull Michigan State back each time the deficit looks to be ballooning. Dilk on the wing, high-low for Hillman. Can't come down with it cleanly, and it's batted out of bounds by Clouden coming over on the help. It'll stay this way.
That's called the front and then the help. I love when they do that. Michigan State has a lot of success defensively when they front and then they help on the backside.
Dilk to inbound for Michigan. Along underneath the basket, loops it in for Johnson at the elbow. Fakes, up and under, scoop shot, it's good! A Kenray Johnson with a nifty move. Wolverines by 15. Winston handling at the point for the Spartans. Veers to her left, gets a high ball screen from Cook. Drives down the right alley, puts her head down, layup rolls off. Parks with the rebound, and she is fouled on the floor. 3 minutes gone by into quarter number 3. Michigan up 53-38. Substitution here for the Spartans. Alicia Smith enters the game. Parks takes a seat. Michigan State running with Osment, Smith, Winston, Crooms, and Clouden. Winston will inbound. Fires it in along the left side for Clouden. Cook there for a screen if she wants it. Draws a switch. Nolan sticks with her. Winston at the logo reset. Shot clock down to 10. Winston with Johnson. Cuts it back down the alley. Elbow pull up off glass for 2. Winston found her spot. Pulls Michigan State within 13. Dilk on the wing. Another high-low. Hillman. Nice fronting by Osman on the help, but a little overzealous. Clipped Hillman, and Hillman winds up on her backside, and she draws a foul.
Yeah, that's an excellent job again. That front and then the backside help. That's where Michigan State's going to have their success. But again, Michigan fighting, second chance to get that foul. Exactly what you want to do.
Dilk will inbound underneath the basket, closer to the Michigan sideline. Fires it in right side. Nolan catch and shoot for 3. It's good! Maddie Nolan ring it up. Lead up to 16 again. Michigan State quickly pushing. It's Smith. She lays it in, but she traveled first. So the Spartans trying to catch the Wolverines sleeping. And it's Smith who could not quite gather and lay it in cleanly.
That's a little Tom Izzo disciple, pushing the break after a big-time shot by the other side.
Haley Brown up top for Michigan. She loses the handle. Coming in for the steal is Cook. Bodies on the floor. Cook from her backside gets it away for Clouden. Off to the races. Pitches it near side corner. Winston tees up a 3 splash. Winston from downtown. An answer from Michigan State. The lead back to 13. Dilk into the forecourt along the left side. Shadowed by Winston, who's provided the impetus here for Michigan State. Johnson on the right wing. Hides around the Brown screen. Pulls it back. Has Osment give to the foul line. Hillman passed up the 12-footer. She's wide open. Pitches it for Johnson. Drives left. Shoulders her way inside. Up with the left. She banks it in. A lot of contact, and Kenray Johnson finishes through it. Winston quickly the other way with a burst of speed. Now slows things down at the logo.
How about Johnson in this third quarter? She's been terrific, getting inside, getting some easy layups, and really picking up this Michigan offense.
Cook spinning inside and goes off glass for 2. The deficit back to 13. Haley Brown up top, the trailer for 3, off the mark. Hillman rips down the rebound, and she's fouled. The foul on the floor, it's going to go on Clouden, who wound up on the hardwood herself. But Naz Hillman, again, proving to be a force to be reckoned with, whether she has the ball or not.
Yeah, she's been terrific. I mean, you double. I've been talking about it the whole game. You double, you can front, you can do whatever, but she'll get that ball. She'll get those second chance opportunities, and that's what makes a really great player.
Nolan off another catch and shoot, left wing three. That's an air ball. Hillman's trying to save it, but she stepped out of bounds. In between, there were substitutions for the Wolverines. Emily Kaiser re-enters. Leah Brown also checks back into the game. So Michigan's got Nolan, Hillman, Johnson, Leah Brown, and Kaiser out there. It's Michigan State basketball, 58-45. The Wolverines lead halfway through the third quarter. Winston has been the spark here in the second half. Gives for Cook, rumbles down the right alley, shoulders into Kaiser and draws contact. She'll head to the line for two. A lot of aggressive takes here from Michigan State. They're clearly trying to play inside.
Yeah, they're really trying to get things going inside. They want to make it that early in that second quarter, when they had the success, it was a paint game. It was all about their paint was better than our paint inside scoring-wise and defensively. It hasn't turned into that because of Michigan shooting, but that's where they want to get back to.
And so it's immediate timeout on the floor. The teams head back to their benches. Michigan up 58-45, the 13-point advantage. 5 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. The Spartans came out of the half very aggressive. They've made their last three from the field. Winston's been the emphasis. Finally, Michigan State has someone to pair with Clouden. And the Spartans are just kind of hanging around. Michigan's gotten the lead up to 16 a few times, but haven't been able to really pull away.
Yeah, I think it's been that interior defense and then getting to the paint, getting those easy buckets, but kind of like weaving their way inside. Clauden, again, as you mentioned, has been terrific in this game, along with Winston. These two getting their way inside the paint. That's how you stay in the game. Make it a paint game. All you can ask for if you're Michigan State, keep the game close. Keep it within. If you can get it down to 10, maybe start working 5. That's exactly where you want to be. If you're Michigan, you're in a really good spot. You're obviously up 13, so it's going to be interesting. The three ball, it might be not as hot here in the second half. I think it's time to get Hillman in a pick and roll situation. We haven't seen a lot of it here in the third quarter. Get her in a pick and roll, get her down low, get her some easy buckets.
And the defenses on both sides have evaporated a little bit. Michigan, 5 of their last 7 from the field. Michigan State has made 3 of their last 3. Michigan Thursday against Purdue only gave up 49 points. The Spartans already with 45 with 15 minutes still to play.
Yeah, it was kind of a burst. Michigan did a really good job, I think, in that second quarter, early in this third too, of keeping this Sparty team off the offensive end. But now a little bit of a spurt, right? Winston played much better here in the second half. We'll see how it holds up. I'm still confident that Michigan has a nice grip on this basketball game. But if Michigan State gets some momentum, you never know in these rivalry games.
Naz Hillman also scoreless so far. 5 minutes into the second half, Michigan State has developed a little more of an aggressive approach, bringing that second help defender coming from behind to try and front the high-low. They fouled Hillman a few times, but I think they'll take the fouling so long as they can keep her off the scoreboard.
And I think if you're looking ahead, right, Michigan is a good spot here. You look ahead, right, Ohio State, Indiana. They're going to follow this same game plan that Michigan State has. Front, up top, backside help, as you've been talking about. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Michigan offense now adjusts. I expect Leah Brown. We saw that early in the game. We haven't seen it a lot now. Get her going to the rim, really, and get her in those pick-and-roll situations with Hillman. I think that can have a lot of success.
The teams are back onto the court here. It'll be Michigan State at the free throw line. Margarita Cook for 2. Knocks down the first one. Michigan's got Nolan, Johnson, Hillman, Leah Brown, and Kaiser, the same unit that was out there before the timeout. Cook's second is good, so the Spartans within 11, 58-47, Michigan leads. Leah Brown playing point right to left into the forecourt. Swings it left side for Kenray Johnson. Fakes a pass underneath, puts it on the deck, give up top Nolan. They'll trace the arc, give along the right side for Brown. Into the short corner, Hillman working in the pocket. Back for Leah Brown. Cross court, Nolan in the corner. Michigan State in the zone. Johnson on the left wing. Who's going to crack that zone? Hillman up top, swings right side, Leah Brown. 8 to shoot. Michigan's got to go. Left wing Johnson open for 3. Line drive shot off into the left. Rebound batted around, taken by Kaiser. Kicks it out for Leah Brown, drives inside on the pull-up. Bank shot won't go. And a strong rebound in a crowd. That's Clouden, but then she gets tied up by Nolan, and that Michigan's got the possession arrow. Things are going to stay this way.
Yeah, I really like that. Michigan State, they're on a little bit of a different look in that zone. You're at 9 right now, right? You're at 11, excuse me. Again, throwing some different looks, making Michigan adjust more, exactly what an all-star coach in Michigan State wants to do.
And a beautiful inbounds play, a nice catch and shoot for Leah Brown. A little 10-footer puts Michigan back up 13. 4:15 left in the third. Winston handling for the Spartans. Flips right side for Cook. Dribble handoff. Working her way around a screen is Clouden. Kaiser shadows her. Give up top. Cook drives left, but bowls over Johnson. That's an offensive foul.
That's an excellent job defensively, moving the feet. Michigan, again, they let up 49 against Purdue. Not as good of a showing here, but they've still shown signs of greatness on that side of the ball in spots. Johnson, a really good job moving her feet and drawing the charge.
So the ball back to Michigan. That's 3 fouls now on Cook. 4 turnovers in the quarter for the Spartans. Kaiser for Brown on the left side. Michigan State still in the zone. Johnson on the right wing. Give for Kaiser. Brown in the corner. Open for 3. And it's too strong. Rebound knocked around. Johnson's got it. She's on the deck. And another jump ball is going to be called. This one sends it over to Michigan State. The Spartans have the arrow. Those are really all-out fights for the rebounds there. Players are flying everywhere.
That's a rivalry game for you.
Winston walks it into the forecourt. Michigan State trailing by 13. Haven't really been able to get any closer than 11, but Michigan, on the flip side, hasn't been able to expand it greater than 16. And there is Clouden drilling a shot from straight on. That's a 3-pointer, and as I say that, they've got it down to 10.
She's an excellent player, no doubt about it. She's gotten her shots where she's gotten it, and she's gotten a lot of different looks from this Michigan defense. Top field goal percentage for Michigan, so a really good job, Clouden, finding her way and finding some easy shots.
Kaiser has it in the short left corner. 9 to shoot. Bullet pass cross court. Johnson giving the corner to Leah Brown. She'll try again from that spot. It's blocked by Parks. Hillman gets it back. Pass underneath Kaiser. She lays it up and in with 2 on the shot clock. Kaiser bails out the Wolverines. 62 to 50. The lead back up to 12. Winston handling up top for Michigan State. Shadowed by Maddie Nolan. Alternating dribbles left and right. Winston around a screen. Accelerates to her right. Nolan sticks with her. Throws it back left side. And Clouden is fouled by, is that Leah Brown? Because if it is, that's number 4. And it is, and Leah Brown heads right to the sideline. Amy Dilk will re-enter, and that's a big call there. That's 4 fouls now on Leah Brown with 12:41 left in this one.
And I think you lose a little bit on offense right here because she, early in the game, she kind of took some of the load off of Hillman. Now it's going to be all about Hillman with the foul trouble.
Michigan State in the bonus as well. Clouden will head to the stripe, knocks down the first. So it's been Clouden and Winston, the 1-2 punch in this quarter, keeping Michigan State afloat. And for the game, for that matter, Clouden up to 20, Winston's got 11. Clouden's got 1 more free throw coming here. And she knocks it down. The 79% free throw shooter drains a pair. 62-52, Michigan up by 10. Dilk brings it across down the middle. Wolverines trying to hold steady. Dilk up top, Spartans still in the zone. Johnson on the right wing. And a whistle and a foul. Kaiser wound up on her backside, got bowled over. I think that's going to be on Cook, who clipped her. And that's number 4 on Cook. Michigan in the bonus as well. So Kaiser will head to the stripe.
Yeah, but I also want to see on offense, I don't know if that's a concern in this game, but against the zone, you want someone in that middle, right? And maybe it's Hillman inside the middle. He kind of forces that defense to collapse, then he can kick it out. It's a much easier way of beating a zone.
Kaiser buries the first, and Hillman is still yet to score. She had 20 at the half on 8 of 9 from the field. Has not scored, has not attempted a shot. So we'll see if the Wolverines can get her going. Second free throw no good by Kaiser. Parks pulls down the rebound. Flips for Clouden, zigzags into the forecourt down the right side, around a high ball screen, moves left, bodied by Hillman, and that's a foul. Hillman way out on the perimeter, coming off the screen. And Clouden's going to head right back to the free throw line for 2 more. So Michigan suddenly can't buy a stop on the defensive end.
An excellent job by Michigan State. Again, bringing the physicality to this Michigan Wolverine defense. They're really testing them inside and out. They've gotten a couple good looks. Clouden leading the way along with Winston. You got to love what you see from Michigan State's offense here in the second half.
So Clouden at the line. Can't connect on the first. One more coming her way. 2:22 left in the third. And she gets it to go. So it's a 10-point game against 63-53 Michigan on top. Dilk quickly into the full court down the middle, veers to her right. Pulls it back on the wing, giving the corner Johnson. Michigan State now settled into their zone. Johnson turns it over, looking for Hillman. Parks picks it off. Up ahead for Winston, slows things down. Cuts to her right. Hop steps inside, up with the right. Oh, the layup is good. The acrobatics by Winston. What a play, doing it herself. Michigan State with an 8. Johnson on the wing. Entry feed, Hillman at the block. She's doubled, throws up the wild shot, but is fouled from behind.
And it's becoming a stop and score game right now. And Michigan State, they're getting all the scoring right now. And if you're Michigan, you're looking on this side of the ball, on the offensive side, how are you going to get buckets? How are you going to keep up? Because right now they cannot stop Michigan State on the defensive end.
So Hillman looking to crack the scoreboard for the first time in this quarter. Drills the first free throw. So it took 7 minutes. Took a long time. I can't do the math in my head. There's 1:55 left in the third. It took a long time for Naz Hillman to score. Hillman rattles in the second to push the lead back to 10. Winston quickly down the left side of the court. Nolan picks her up in the half court. Winston lowers his shoulder, gets inside, flips it out for Joyner, jump save right side. Clouden swings it around Aralt, drives down the middle, pull up, pop in the paint, floater won't go. Johnson tips the rebound to herself. Johnson streaking down the middle, brings it across for Michigan. Give right side Kaiser, she's all alone, three-pointer, short. Rebound batted around, Hillman had it, lost it, dives on the floor, three black shirts surround her, and it's going to be another jump ball. Naz Hillman single-handedly keeping that alive.
The second chance, the opportunities, Hillman all over those. And that was a wide open three you got to hit if you're Michigan.
That's 4 offensive rebounds now for Hillman. Dilk will put things into motion underneath the Wolverines basket. Dilk looking, still searching, finds Hillman on the right wing, and then Dilk gets it right back. Dilk around the screen to the elbow. Drops it inside. Hillman at the block, goes right at the wall. Layup is good, and one. There's the Naz Hillman that we saw in the first half.
And that's all about post position. Inside, no chance for Michigan State to double because of the position she had. A little flip, and just nothing can stop a one-on-one with Naz Hillman.
The 6'2 Hillman bests the 6'2 Aralt, and Hillman will head to the free throw line looking to complete a 3-point play. Takes a deep breath. She's got 24 now to go along with 6 rebounds, make it 25 points. 68-55, the lead up to 13. Michigan State hanging around. They've cut it to 9. 75 seconds left here in the third quarter. Winston has it on the right side, working with Nolan. 15 to shoot, slips the screen, gets the elbow, challenges Kaiser, flips it up. Basket is good, and one. How about Winston again on the take? Fearless inside amidst the trees.
She's
the 5'7 Winston.
And she's taking over this second half beautifully. Winston dominant inside.
She went right at the 6'3 Kaiser, absorbed the contact, and finished. And now she makes the free throw. Winston up to 16 on the afternoon. Michigan State back within 10, a minute to play in the third. Dilk giving the left side corner for Nolan. Loops it inside, Hillman on the block, facing Aralt. Doubled, flips it out. Leah Brown swings for Dilk, straight on 3. Way off, nothing but glass. And the rebound caroms out to Joyner at the elbow.
Hey, you got to make one more. I thought you could have made one more pass if you're Michigan right there. Could have been one more.
Clouden slips her way to the left block and then gets bumped from behind by Hillman. And so she'll head to the stripe again. She's already been there 9 times today. She'll have free throws 10 and 11 coming up. 40.6 seconds left here in the third. Michigan State looking to get it back to single digits. Substitution for the Wolverines. Michelle Cedor enters the game for the first time today. So it's Clouden at the line. She's been the driving force today. She's got 22. Averages 19 on the season. The 3-year starter, leads team in assists, steals, and scoring. Good on the first free throw.
I want to see Johnson a little bit more for Michigan. I think she had a lot of success in that third quarter, and especially with Brown's foul trouble, I think Johnson can really get going and really put this game where Michigan wants it to be.
Second free throw, good as well for Clouden. So the Michigan lead is trimmed down to 8. Clouden will take a seat. Crooms re-enters. Michigan's got Johnson, Dilk, Haley Brown, Cedar, and Nolan. Some threats on the perimeter here as Hillman gets a rest. Nolan on the wing, give up top for Johnson. Michigan State in the zone again. Cedar on the left side, puts it on the deck, motions to the top of the key, flips right wing for Dilk. Dilk loops it underneath. Haley Brown catches, goes up, blocked by Aralt, gets it back, loses it on the way up. Loose ball, it's scooped up by the Spartans. Osment in the forecourt, she'll pull things back. 15 seconds left, shot clock turned off. Crooms holding out near the timeline. Michigan State can have one last shot here. Crooms making her move, 7 seconds, cuts it back, drives left on Johnson, hangs on Brown, flip shot off glass, too strong, parks the rebound, puts it back up and banks it in. And that's how the third quarter will come to an end. A frustrating third quarter for Michigan. The lead is all the way down to 6. That's the closest it's been since the first quarter.
That's called a rivalry game for you right here. Michigan can be in control all they want, up 16, whatever. Now they come back, and Michigan State shows why they are a very tough team here in the Big Ten. It shows why that Big Ten is so strong, using the interior defense working to that advantage. Leah Brown in foul trouble, which is a point, 4 fouls for her. And you also have that Michigan State offense led by Mrs. Winston and Mrs. Clauden, both dominant in that third quarter.
And credit the Spartans, a 7-0 run over the last 63 seconds. They've made 7 of their last 9 from the field. Michigan's defense has already surrendered 13 more points than they did all game Thursday against Purdue. Granted, Purdue is an inferior team, but Michigan's defense has been the heart of its roster. That and Naz Hillman has been the driving forces behind its success, and the defense has faltered so far through 3 quarters today, especially exposed in that third quarter with Winston and Clouden just carving their way inside, making tough shots and getting to the free throw line.
And that can't happen. You've seen this Michigan defense be so good all year, and then you have Clouden, Winston. It could be just they're great, and Michigan's defense will bounce back, I believe. But how do you answer right now if you're Michigan on the defensive end? I think you just got to build a wall inside. I mean, it's as simple as that. Put Hillman in, lock down that paint. You cannot allow Winston, Clauden to get easy shots.
Yeah, Winston and Clauden are their 2 leading scorers. Clauden with 19.1 points per game, Winston with 10.3 points per game. They've both already eclipsed that so far today. Clauden's up to 24, Winston up to 16, and in that third corner alone, each had 10 points, and that's a big reason why Michigan State was able to outscore Michigan 27-22 in that third quarter. And so here we are in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes to play, Michigan clenching a 6-point lead. What's the key to not collapsing here against their in-state rivals?
It's about protecting that paint. It's about getting Naz Hillman those easy looks again. And if they're going to do that, they're going to front and then double on the backside. You got to swing it around. If they play that zone, meanwhile, I think you got to put someone in the middle. Whether it's Hillman, I think that could be a nice fit. Put her in the middle. Allow her to be the decision maker. If they want to condense and put all 5 girls in the box, then you can kick it out for those easy threes. And they were hitting those in the second quarter. That has fallen off too. So you got to get that 3-point shot going. You got to get back to basics. If they're going to play a zone, you get Hillman inside. If they're going to play man, pick and roll Hillman. Get back to your basics, and that is Naz Hillman working on the offensive end.
10 minutes to play here from Chrysler Center. Michigan up 68-62 over Michigan State as we begin the fourth quarter. If you're tuning in, thanks for listening to WCBN Sports. You're not going to want to go anywhere. This is shaping up to be a great ending. Michigan State's got the ball to start. It's Crooms, drives down the right alley, tries to arc it inside. It's deflected and taken by Johnson. Michigan opens up the fourth quarter with a great defensive possession. Johnson all the way down the right alley. The runner is good. Johnson coast to coast, and what a start to the fourth quarter for Michigan.
And that's what I want to see. Johnson get the ball rolling, be that second girl on the offensive end.
Aralt up top with Nolan. Swings for Osment, drives right, carves her way down the alley, throws up a wild shot. It rolls off the rim. Rebound tip taken by Johnson. Up on the outlet left side, it's Danielle Roush. Pulls back, give for Johnson at the top of the key. Facing Osment, works her way to the elbow. She's hesitant, now gives back for Dilk. Michigan State's gone back to man-to-man defense here. Dilk shadowed, floats it left side for Johnson. Give on the wing for Nolan. Shot clock down to 8. Nolan around a Haley Brown screen, moves right, pulls it back. Give left wing Johnson, arcs it underneath Brown. Couldn't catch it cleanly, tried to save it. She stepped on the end line. So a slow developing possession there from Michigan. No one seemed to want to shoot, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, it's gonna, again, with no Naz Hillman on the floor. Who's the offense? I think it's got to be Johnson. She's been very good in the second half, getting to the rim.
So Crooms handles for Michigan State Spartans down by 8. Up top with Dilk, a shade to the right of the block M. Flips it along the right wing for Osmet, working with Roush. Dribble handoff with Cook. Cook on the left wing, Crooms. Entry feed Parks, turns to her left and lays it in with the left. Got great post position on Haley Brown. And it's back to a 6-point game. Nolan catches on the right wing under a quick outlet pass. Backs things up and slows things down. Michigan State's gone back to the zone, so really mixing it up here. Dilk to Roush, fakes a corner 3, takes the baseline, drops it off underneath for Brown. She's flummoxed and loses the handle. Osment breaks from the pack with the orange. Running down the left side, pulls things back for Michigan State. The Spartans can get within, they're already within 6. They can get closer with the basket. Crooms works the baseline, fires across court. Osment swings for Cook. Cook with Johnson. Walled off nicely by Johnson. Michigan State calls a play at the logo. Clouden controls, working with Dilk. Clouden moves right, draws Johnson on the switch. Step back three-pointer, it's good! Clouden with a clutch three-pointer. This lead is down to 3.
Wow. I mean, you do everything right. A step back 3 Michigan State within 3.
Dilk in the far side corner. Michigan trying to regroup and get back on track. Give for Haley Brown. Lines up a corner 3. Line drive shot off the heel. Nolan tips the rebound. It's wrestled away by the Spartans. That's Clouden. She's got it again. Brings it into the forecourt down the right side. Around a high ball screen from Parks. A whistle. That's an illegal screen. Parks leveled Johnson on the screen. She's a little slow to get up. And a costly play by Michigan State. If you're Parks, there's no need to do that. You have the ball and the momentum. It's in your best player, Clouden, who can't miss. And so that's really an enforced error there.
You know, for Michigan, how long can you last without Hillman in the lineup? They struggle offensively because I don't think they have a scorer. And defensively, they're going to let up more points inside the paint.
And they just brought Leah Brown in, so Roush's stint on the court is short-lived, yet Hillman remains on the bench. Dilk in the pocket on the left side, carves her way to the block, forces it up, layup won't go. Strong box out on the board, goes via Smith for Michigan State. It's Crooms down the right side for the Spartans, picked up by Dilk. Works her way to the top of the key. Skip pass in the far side corner. Open for 3 is Cook. In and out. That would have tied the game. Johnson the rebound. 4-on-4. Michigan looking to push down the left side. Now it's even strength. Give for Dilk on the right side. And Dilk will slow things down. Sizing up Crooms. Works her way to the elbow. Sneaks up and under and is fouled. The shot won't go. Unsure if that's on the floor or on the way up.
It feels like there's no offense right now. They got to run some pick and rolls. Get some shots, especially if you don't have your best scorer on the floor. You got to create offense through really getting people open, moving, cutting, running some plays, because you can't just allow these girls to just drive and chuck up shots because they're not going to get anything.
And they did call it in the act of shooting, so Amy Dilk's at the stripe for 2. Knocks down the first. Dilk, an 82% free throw shooter on the season. Amongst Michigan regulars, that's the top mark. The lead back up to 4, 6:50 to play here in the fourth quarter. Dilk good on a pair. So a pair of clutch free throws for Amy Dilk as Michigan tries to right the ship. Winston on the right wing, pick and pop for 3, left it short. Rebound, tracked down in the near side corner by Nolan. Brown brings it across down the middle for the Wolverines. Give on the left side, Nolan. Working with Cook. Johnson now with the foul line, drives down the right alley, and she's fouled on the apex of her dribble drive. Foul's going to go on Clouden. That's 3 on Clouden. Nothing really to worry about there yet. One more, things get a little dicey. 6:33 remaining to play. The inbound pass looped into Leah Brown in the paint, forces it up, in and out. Tough shot. Haley Brown trying to keep the rebound alive, but it's out of bounds. She touched it last. So the ball goes back over to the Spartans.
And even though that was an interesting play and it was a little bit of a turnover, Leah Brown brings physicality, and look at that foul total. It goes up and up when she's on the floor, and that kind of was that turning point in that first quarter for Michigan. That's how they got their points. It was through getting fouls, getting to the free throw line, and I think that's what they got to go back to. Leah Brown really brings that, and it's a shame she's in foul trouble.
Winston veers along the right wing for Michigan State. Trying to orchestrate things, calling out orders, gets a Cook screen, picks up her dribble. Give up top Smith, works it around the arc for Claudin. Claudin walled off by Brown, works her way around it, and she's fouled. Haley Brown a little overzealous on the help coming off the screen. And so she's whistled for the foul. That's her fourth. So Haley Brown, or that's her third rather. Leah Brown has 4. Michigan maintaining a 5-point lead. Claudin will inbound for Michigan State. Gets it in along the near side for Winston, works her way to the top of the key. Shadowed by Nolan. Still no Hillman on the floor for Michigan. Winston around a high ball screen, veers left, sealed off by Brown. Kicks it back right side for Cook, working with Nolan. Cook drives, gets inside, left the layup short. I think Johnson got a piece of it. And then Cook commits a foul on Nolan. I think that's number 5. She is fouled out.
Johnson is just such a good defender. She had the charge earlier and then slided over with the help and the block. You love that against a bigger player.
And so that's just a foul that Michigan State could not afford. Cook hasn't played great today, 4 points in 12 minutes, but she's brought that aggression and the physicality. And now she'll have to take a seat for the remainder of the game. So Michigan State in response is rolling with Osmond, Winston, Smith, Joyner, and Claudin. Michigan, meanwhile, has Dilk, Johnson, Nolan, and both Browns.
And no Hillman.
No Hillman, notably. She is standing on the bench area, perhaps waiting to come in. Leah Brown on the left wing, give up top for Nolan. Michigan State back in the zone. Nolan on the right wing, give for Haley Brown. Leah Brown. The Browns getting in each other way. Leah Brown flips it left side for Nolan. Back for Leah Brown on the left side. She'll rise for a deep 3, and she left it short. And air ball. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. Dilk tried to save it.
Not a good possession.
And here she comes. Here comes Naz Hillman getting ready to check back into this one. Michigan has not had a field goal in their last 4+ minutes. And Naz Hillman, hopefully, for their sake, can change that. Amy Dilk takes a seat. So it's Nolan and Leah Brown who will likely have the ball handling duties with Dilk on the bench.
And now we see Brown and Hillman on the floor once again together. I like a pick and roll. If they're going to do zone, same thing. I think they can really have success on the offensive end right now.
Claudin with Johnson, isolated. Lowers her shoulder, stops, walled off nicely. Give back, Winston off the bounce, fires a 3, way off. Rebound falls right to Michigan State, and then fouled on her way up is Smith. That's a fortuitous bounce for the Spartans. Winston missed everything on the 3, but great post position by Alicia Smith. And she'll head to the stripe. Smith has made all of her free throws today, 4-4 from the line. She's only a 55% free throw shooter on the season, and she makes that one. And every free throw is crucial now for Michigan State. 5:02 to play. Gets both. Substitution for the Spartans. Osment takes a seat. Julia Aralt re-enters. 5:02 left to play. Michigan clinging to a 3-point advantage.
And if you're Michigan right now, you're up 3, 5 minutes to go. It's going to be about those 2. Brown, Hillman. Get them going on the offensive end. Right now, I'm putting Hillman in the middle, letting her be that playmaker.
Hillman's got 25. Brown's got 14. Nolan swings for Johnson on the right side. Michigan State still in the zone. Giving the right wing. Brown open for 3. She's got it. Leah Brown with a huge 3-point basket puts Michigan back up by 6.
And how good is she? She can get that open shot, take pressure off of Hillman inside. It's just so tough to stop when those two are in sync.
Claudin works her way to the left wing. Spartans trying to mount an answer. Cuts back to the elbow. On the pull-up off the bounce. Left it short. Hillman gobbles up the rebound. Michigan with a bit of a momentum swing here perhaps. Johnson at the elbow. Pulls back. Gives for Hillman at the top of the key. KBA calling out orders from the bench. Handoff back for Johnson at the block M. Johnson with Joyner. Dribbling with her right, angling toward the wing. Back up top, Leah Brown. Jab steps, drives left, gets a beat into the block. Threads the needle for Hillman. She lays it up and in. Oh, what a beautiful setup by Leah Brown. Michigan up by 8. Under 4 to play.
And as predicted, when you got the starting lineup in, things turn your way. It's just been terrific. Now, can they get that stop once again?
Winston on the right wing. It's do or die time for Michigan State. Give up top Claudin around a hard screen by Parks. On the pull-up, left it short. The rebound falls for Leah Brown. Michigan looking to run. Brown, outlet up on the right side for Johnson. Couldn't quite catch it cleanly, but controls in the corner. Veers back out to the wing. Give up top. Haley Brown, she's open for three. Passed it up. Give for Johnson, and now Michigan will set things up from the M. 12 to shoot. Johnson's got it. Working with Claudin. Push pass right side, Leah Brown. She's been the go-to player so far. Brown. Jab steps, puts it on the deck to the elbow. Shoulders away inside, across the lane. Left-handed runner, she banks it in. Leah Brown does it again, and the lead is back up to 10.
Unbelievable. Leah Brown stepping up, even in foul trouble. You gotta love it.
Under 3 to play. Michigan threatening to pull away. Claudin dicing through traffic. Up with the left. She lays it in. That's the answer Michigan State desperately needed. Spartans will call a timeout. 79-71. The Wolverines lead by 8. 2:52 to play in the fourth quarter. How about the efforts of Leah Brown so far in this fourth quarter?
She's been terrific. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Despite the foul trouble, she's been so good getting her shots, and that open three was huge. And if you're looking on the other side, Michigan's defense led by Johnson. I want to make that point. She has been so good in this second half, really closing that down, really being, I'm going to be that one-on-one defender that can really shut down the best player, and Claudin, and she's done that here in that fourth quarter.
Michigan State had cut the lead all the way down to 3. Leah Brown playing with 4 fouls nonetheless. Threads the needle on the beautiful pass underneath, feeding Hillman. Drains the 3 from the right wing. And then a ridiculous shot in the lane, off balance, defenders draped all over her, went off glass for 2. I mean, she transferred here from Nebraska in the offseason. She's been the perfect complement to Hillman as that second scorer, and Michigan missed her so much when she was out due to COVID, missing those games. She missed 4 games all in all, and she's really that bona fide playmaker that they need behind Hillman.
Yeah, imagine if she didn't have this foul trouble right now. I mean, this game would be so much different, and she just adds a level of physicality, she adds a level of toughness, and she adds a level of experience to this offense and on the defensive side. It seems like when she's on the floor with Hillman, everyone's working. It's Johnson on the defensive end. It's the passing. It's the shooting. It just feels like when they're both on the floor, this Michigan offense works. When they were in slumps, it was when one or both of them were off the floor.
And on the other side of things, the Spartans have gone cold, just one of their last 7 from the field. Winston yet to score in the fourth quarter after her third quarter heroics. Claudin 2 of 4 from the field. But Michigan's done a much better job, and I think the tone was set really early on in the fourth quarter with a Kenry Johnson, who forced a turnover right away.
Yeah, she's been, again, defensively, she's been so good, despite the bad defense Michigan has had all game long. If you look past that, she has been so good defensively. She had the charge earlier. She's been great on that help side D. So you got to give her a lot of credit, and I think that's also leading to some offensive opportunities for Leah Brown. It allows your offense to really get in transition. Second chance opportunities come about, so everything starts working when that defense is working.
So Michigan's just got to hold on now for 2 minutes and 51 seconds more. They lead by 8. Free throws are likely going to play a big part in this one. Both teams have shot a lot from the line. Michigan 16 of 21. Will be interesting maybe to see how KBA plays it, to see who she has out on the floor with free throw shooting implications. Right now, coming out of the timeout, it's Hillman, Johnson, Leah Brown, Haley Brown, and Nolan. So Amy Dilk, the starting point guard, still on the bench. KBA opting for Nolan. Michigan State looks like it'll deploy a bit of a full court press. Haley Brown will inbound. She's being guarded along the baseline. Gets it in for Johnson in the near side corner. Johnson draped by Claudin. She's doubled now, flips it for Hillman. Across the timeline with a bullet feed to the block M for Haley Brown. And now it's into the hands of Nolan. Michigan can slow things down. Looking to time is the Wolverines' friends right now. Brown works the right wing, jump pass underneath Hillman at the block, lays it up and in. Aralt was all over her, and Hillman still got it to go. Michigan State quickly the other way. They need baskets quick. Winston up top working with Leah Brown. Calling out orders for the Spartans. Give for Aralt, swings it right side for Crooms. Crooms around the screen, back for Aralt on the wing. Drives on Hillman, shoulders her way inside, flips it up and flips it in. Nice tough take by Aralt.
That's a very nice take, and you're going to need buckets fast, so I'm expecting a lot of threes, a lot of easy buckets inside. That's what they need. Can Michigan hold the fort down?
And the Spartans need stops as well. That's not going to do it. Hillman all alone underneath. She lays it in. A minute 50 to go. The lead is 10. Michigan State can ill afford to trade baskets. Crooms up top, veers left, looking for Winston. Great ball denial by Leah Brown. Up top for Claudin. She's been the man so far tonight. Moves left with Dilk. Claudin on the wing. Fakes the dribble, hand up. Pulls up for a deep shot. It's good. Claudin from downtown. Clutch shot and the lead down to 7. A minute and a half to play. Haley Brown to Hillman. He's got to get it across. She does to Brown on the left side. Give for Nolan on the wing. Will be interesting to see how Michigan State plays this. They're not fouling as of now, playing straight up. Nolan for Leah Brown. She's got the orange on the left side. Brown around the Hillman screen, moves right. Draws a switch with the roll. Kicks it back left side. Haley Brown lines up a 3. It's off the mark. Rebound taken by Michigan State. It's Claudin off to the races. Cuts it back down the left alley. Hangs on Brown. Left-handed scoop shot. Goes down. Oh, what a shot by Claudin. Unbelievable effort from her so far today. She's got 34. And the Michigan lead trimmed to 5 with 59.9 ticks to play.
She's so good getting inside, Claudin. A little step, a little euro, and a little finish. Michigan State now back within 5. And if you're Michigan, there was nothing you could do about that. Claudin steps up, hits a big 3, and then she comes right back down in the lane. How do you get buckets to help with Claudin? Claudin on the other side, it's going to be about Leah Brown. She's been the star here in this fourth quarter. Can she keep it up here in this last minute? And it's also going to be about free throws. They're 16 for 21 if I'm not... I'm pretty certain they're 16 for 21 on the free throw line today. Can they keep that up, make some free throws, and go home?
I mean, Michigan State was dead in the water, down 10 with under a minute 40 to play. Claudin drills a 3 and then zigzagging all the way down the court with the acrobatic finish hanging on Brown. And now all of a sudden this is still a game, and this is just what the Spartans have done all game long. Each time it seems like Michigan is going to pull away, Michigan State's mounts a counter.
Yeah, it really has been, and you got to give a lot of credit to Claudin. 34 points. Winston held it down in the third. Claudin's really showed her stardom today here in the fourth quarter. Drilling 3s, getting inside, outside. It's been so tough to stop, and you just got to look at greatness and be like, hey, she's doing it. And Michigan, how do you counter that? It's been through Brown and Hillman.
So it's 83-78. Michigan with the 5-point advantage. The Wolverines will have the ball coming out of the timeout. We've seen Michigan State deploy a bit of a full court press. They're likely going to ramp that up. We'll see if they choose to foul or play it straight up.
Yeah, I would not foul yet. I think if you can get a stop with 30 seconds, hit a shot, quick shot, like Claudin's been doing, you get it down to 2 or 3, then you foul, because that's the only shot you can get. Fouling here, especially with the way Michigan's shooting, unless it's not a good free throw shooter on the floor, I bet you they're going to put out 5 good free throw shooters. So it might be not a smart move. Get it up to 3 possession, which under a minute is not a good recipe for winning. I say as a coach, I would say take your chances. Get a stop here. If it's still at 5, then get a quick 3. It's all of a sudden down to 2. It's a 1-possession game.
So if you're Michigan during this timeout, Claudin's got 34. Would you double her next possession?
I mean, at this point, I would not, because I think Michigan has the ball. So if let's say Michigan State gets a stop, I would not, because if you double her, then there's going to be a wide open basket, right? Yes, she's been excellent, but it takes time if she needs to get to the rim, do her whole thing. I would not double her at this point in the game with a minute. You're up 5. If they're down 2 in this situation, maybe I double her. You're up 5 in this spot. Do not double her here.
So the team seemed to have broken the huddle, and now they're being ushered back toward their bench. We'll see who Michigan has out there for free throw implications. Wolverines, Amy Dilk is an 82% free throw shooter. Leah Brown shoots it at 73%. Naz Hillman, 75% from the line. Maddie Nolan, 75%. Their worst free throw shooter would be Haley Brown, who shoots it at 60%. Out of the players, I guess the core 6, you would say, that have really been getting the bulk of the minutes so far today. They seem to have gone back into their huddle, so the timeout will be prolonged here, which gives both teams certainly more time to mull over their strategies and really pour over what they want to do here.
And also, you're taking just another point for Michigan. You're looking ahead, right? You're taking a lot of effort right now to close out a team that you know you're better than, right, here in Michigan State. You play on Thursday, right? 2 days, and then you play on Sunday. So it's going to be a very tough turnaround. If they win or lose in this basketball game, it's going to be a very tough turnaround against the 14th ranked team in the country in Indiana and the 15th ranked country in Ohio State.
So I believe Michigan called a second timeout to advance the ball right in front of their own bench so they don't have to go the length of the court. Amy Dilk will inbound. Gets it in on the right wing for Haley Brown. She's doubled immediately. She's tied up. That's a jump ball, but the possession arrow stays this way. So Michigan retains, but should there be another jump ball, it will go back to the Spartans. So that was a big play for Michigan State.
And you talked about how Brown's the worst free throw shooter. She's another body in there. I don't know if I'm a fan of this decision, keeping her in the game right now. Maybe you don't have someone else to turn to, but for free throw shooting with the way she's like another big on the floor, kind of closes down the paint. I don't know if I'm okay with that.
So Leah Brown has it on the left side off the inbounds pass. Pressured all the way up near the timeline by Crooms. Brown works to her left. Michigan State's going to play this straight. Brown veers right. She's doubled, sneaks around Parks, gets to the block, picks up her dribble. She's triple team, gets it out for Johnson. Johnson drives down the middle, down the left alley, finds a seam and lays it in with the left hand. Kenray Johnson puts Michigan up by 7. 33 seconds to play. Michigan State needs to go quickly. Winston on the wing. In the corner now. She's doubled, works her way back to the wing, across the lane, gets inside, layup is good. 23.3 seconds to go. The deficit still stands at 5. Haley Brown, the inbound, gets it in for Hillman. Hillman doubled, not fouled. Out ahead for Dilk, scampers across the timeline down the right side. 18 seconds to go. Brown, a touch pass for Leah Brown. They got a foul, and they finally foul. 14.8 seconds to go. Nearly 10 seconds go by. I think if you're Susie Merchant at Michigan State, you would have wanted to foul way earlier.
Yeah, I understand not fouling with a minute, but now you're at 30 seconds. You're down 5. You have to foul right away. I guess they were waiting for a good free throw shooter to get it, but a bad free throw shooter to get it, or a less free throw percentage shooter. So interesting decision. Now it's 5. You get a miss.
Leah Brown, normally a surefire free throw shooter at 73%, misses the first off the heel. The second one is true, and Susie Merchant and Michigan State are going to use that timeout. 86-80, Michigan's lead at 6 after Brown splits a pair from the line. 14.8 seconds to go. Got to figure Claudin's going to get the ball here coming off an inbounds play and try for a 3. She's 3 of 5 from downtown tonight.
You got to get her to the ball. If I'm Michigan, maybe at this point you think about doubling. If she's got an open shot, you let them go to the rim because you want it to save.
Right, you let them take the 2.
So that's what happened on that previous possession with Winston. But you can't let up a 3. That's the only thing. You're up 6. You're in a really good spot. This is you can't blow this if you're Michigan. You can't let up a 3. Let them get a layup, whatever. But you cannot let up a 3 or foul and let up an and 1.
Spartans 5 of 13 from beyond the arc tonight. Claudin and Winston are their 2 main threats. Claudin shoots it at a 33% clip. Winston at 37%. Also tonight, those are the only 2 players who have attempted a 3 besides Cook, who has fouled out, and then Aralt, who is 31%. Joyner also shoots it at 33%, so it's probably going to go to one of those 4. The odds are it's going to go to Claudin. If not Claudin, it's going to go to Winston. So we'll see how Michigan plays that, both strategy-wise and personnel-wise, as the teams break their huddle. Michigan State rolling with Parks, Winston, Crooms, Claudin, and Osment. Michigan, meanwhile, on the defensive end has Hillman, Kenray Johnson, Leah Brown, Dilk, and Nolan. It'll be Osment to inbound right in front of the Michigan State bench. Leah Brown sagging off the inbounds pass a little bit. Osment looking, still looking, gets it in near the timeline for Crooms, veers right, cuts it back, and she's fouled by Dilk. Michigan had a foul to give.
Yeah, you foul that. Now you're at 12.9.
And so we'll do it again, just closer to us. Inbounding on the near side is Osment. Again, Brown not guarding the inbounds pass. Osment looking, gets it in up top for Crooms. Crooms with Dilk. She's got to go. Cuts it back. Flips it right side. Off the curl. It's Clouden. Heaves for 3. Left it short. Rebound ripped down by Osment. Puts it back up with a left-handed floater, and it rolls in. But there's only 2.7 seconds left to play. Michigan leads 86-82. No one's going to pick up the ball. Finally, Johnson taps it back for Hillman. She'll inbound it. Hillman looking. Still looking. And she's going to have to burn a timeout. Michigan had 3 left. So Michigan could taste it. It would take a miracle for Michigan State to pull this one out, but nonetheless, it's prolonged a little bit more by the Spartans doing a nice job defending the inbounds pass.
Yeah, if you want to get the ball, a smart thing to do if you can, get the ball, chuck it up, game over. That's all it is right now. Get the ball in. How do you get the ball in? Run a little, break the press, and then chuck it up, and the game should be over. Michigan, at this point, after the layoff, now 86-82, if they can close this out. This would be a big rivalry win. It would be a big win. Even if they were favored by how many and at home as the 11th ranked team, it's a big win, especially with the way Leah Brown was in foul trouble. Hillman struggled a bit in that third quarter. So this would be a nice win from the Wolverines.
So the teams are back on the court. It's Amy Dilk to inbound in front of the Wolverine bench, guarded by Osment. Dilk looking Looking, still looking, loops it inside. Hillman at the block, goes up strong. She's blocked by Crooms, but that's going to do it. Michigan ekes it out, an 86-82 comeback victory over the in-state rival Michigan State Spartans. The Wolverines are victorious, moved to 12-1 on the season, and avoid a disastrous collapse, and will head into Bloomington on Thursday night with some momentum.
Yeah, you gotta love the way they closed it out. Tough game. You let them, Michigan State, fight in a rivalry game. You come out, you get a big win. Your second straight game off the pause. Now you look forward. You got Indiana, you got Ohio State. Nothing gets easier for the Wolverines.
Naz Hillman finished her day with 31 points. One might say a quiet 31 points for Naz Hillman. 20 of those came in the first half. Leah Brown was the star down the stretch, really stepping up when the Wolverines needed her on the offensive end.
100%, and she's been so good despite the foul trouble. If they were in this game, I think it's a little bit of a different story, but with the foul trouble, with all the adversity, Leah Brown and the Wolverines come out on top 86-82.
86-82 is your final today from Chrysler Center. Thanks for joining us on WCBN Sports for a little Tuesday afternoon. Michigan women's basketball, Michigan and Michigan State. The Wolverines come out on top. Thanks again for listening. For Matt Levy, I'm Jared Greenspan, and until next time on WCBN Sports, so long, and as always, good night and go blue. Cool. Fun game.